Hello everyone, Jason Alea back here again, and today we're going to be reviewing Venom Let There Be Carnage. This is a sequel to the first Venom film directed by Ruben Fleischer, who directed Zombieland, and this one is directed by Andy Serkis, who directed Mowgli. And this time around, after the first movie, Venom and Eddie are now symbiotically connected to each other, and they're having a hard time adjusting with each other because Venom wants to go out, eat brains, become the symbiote he is meant to be, while Eddie's trying to keep everything contained, not have them be put into a secret facility where people can study on him and Venom. And so, the whole movie is this it's kind of like an old married couple that are really tired of each other and hate each other. And are at the point where they just want a divorce. And it's honestly a full-blown comedy. What I love about this film was the relationship between Venom and Eddie. It's what worked in the first film, and it's definitely what worked here and kept me entertained throughout. Sure, it's ridiculous. It is very much a 1990s, early 2000s type of buddy comedy. And I like that about this film. It's something that you don't see in a superhero genre type film often. And it's really refreshing to kind of see that aspect of the character. It's something new. Now, this is not like completely accurate to the comics or anything. It takes liberties. And honestly, I'm fine with it. It's just a new version of these characters that I personally do enjoy and I would love to see again. And Carnage himself was what I hoped for. Now, at first when I saw Woody Harrelson at that post-credits scene at the end of the first Venom film, I was a little skeptical. Mostly because of the hair. I mean, that wig was awful. But they sure did fix it. And they did not just fix that. They fixed the very cheesy dialogue that was given to him at that post-credits scene. And his character here was everything I hoped for. It stays true to the character's roots in his backstory, and maybe takes a little bit of liberties here and there, but for the most part, this is basically a pretty close interpretation of Venom from the comics, and I love it. I love Woody Harrelson's portrayal here. I think he was menacing when he needs to be, and the Carnage symbiote that he is bonded to was very much amazing himself. And the action scenes with him are very much epic, and I love it. I just wish that the film was rated R. And now we're going to go into my problems a little bit. The rating of this film does not do it any justice. Sure, some of the big fight scenes are awesome, but with a bunch of heads getting bitten off and a lot of bodies, I feel like this movie should have been R-rated. It is a detriment to the film, and I feel like Andy Serkis did try to film an R-rated movie here, but the studio saw the success of the first movie and they want to try and make more money out of this. And while they are going to make more money out of this because it's PG-13 and it's a shorter running time, I still wish it could have been rated R. That is my biggest problem because it felt like the movie was holding back a little bit in terms of what it can or cannot show. So that was a bit disappointing. But other than that, I also thought the pacing of the film was very much fast, and it is mostly a positive because there's barely any fat in it. The story is well told. It's very simple and straight to the point. I like it. Just that by the end, it could feel disposable in a way. And I don't know how this movie's gonna probably be memorable. Because this is very much a straight up comedy. And while the humor is funny, it is not like the funniest movie I've ever seen. It's just more in line with what the first Venom tried to do a little bit with the comedy, but amped up. But I don't know. I feel like this movie probably could have maybe used a little bit more time with the characters. Because there are some things that I really want to know more about, especially with Eddie's girlfriend, because her and her boyfriend's story, they got no purpose apart to move the plot along, honestly. They felt like a detriment to the film. And if you cut them out, it wouldn't make any difference, aside from She-Venom appearing, which is my fetish. I'm just kidding right there. Don't take it seriously. But in terms of directing, I felt like Andy Serkis had a much clearer vision of what he wanted this movie to be. Whereas with the first movie, it felt like they had no idea what they wanted to be. And the stuff with Venom and Eddie were very much unintentionally funny. Here, he knew what worked in the first movie, took that, just made it the entire movie. And he directed it so beautifully. The shots here and the way it's directed, it all looked really good, and the tone was very much consistent throughout. I loved his direction here much more than Ruben Fleischer's direction of the first movie, because it felt more consistent, because the action and tone were able to mesh together perfectly. And whatever serious moments there is, it's only very little for a bit with the villains, and it works in that way. So overall, this is not the greatest movie ever made. It is not going to blow everybody's mind, but it is a fun time at the theaters. I had a really good time with this film, and I'm going to give Venom Let There Be Carnage a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned at the mid-credits scene, and the mid-credits scene only, because holy crap! Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. People like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.